Yeah, physicality is the biggest thing. Is being physical at the line of scrimmage, running the football, controlling the line of scrimmage, controlling the time of possession in terms of physicality, being efficient with the pass game, being multiple with our looks. Easy for us, complicated for a defense. And so that was, and then just Coach Roll's, his personality, his leadership capability. For me to move my family to the Midwest, I wasn't going to do it for just anybody, but really just me and he and I have connected a lot, and we see the game from the same lens. And if you can be on the same page on that standpoint, you got a chance to be successful. And then talking to Coach Rogers, his viewpoint for what this program is going to be and what he's done in the past, it was an absolute no-brainer from that standpoint.
When did you meet Coach Roll? Good to meet you.
When I meet Coach Roll, so my high school head coach in Georgia, that's how small the game of football is. My high school head coach in the state of Georgia is Travis Nolan. He's the best high school football coach in the Southeast, and it's not even close. Okay, his son actually played quarterback here at Iowa State, Zeb Nolan, and then Zeb transferred to North Dakota State and played quarterback at North Dakota State, and so he and I got connected through that. Zeb came here to Iowa State, played here for a couple of years, and then transferred to North Dakota State, and then just randomly, North Dakota State was looking for an O-line coach one year when I was at Gardner-Webb, and Coach Roll called me and we talked. Ended up not working out, but we stayed in touch over the last 8 or 9 years. So that's how we met.
Nice to meet you. Thank you.
Absolutely, appreciate you. Yep.
Apologize if you've been asked this. I'm sure you have.
All
but
good.
Coming up here to work for Coach Rogers, what made you confident that this is the right step for your career?
Yeah, I think just the confidence, the quiet confidence that he brings. Talking to him on the phone a couple days after he got the job here, I already had a good foundation of what Iowa State is, because just being in Power 4 football, this program's been extremely relevant the last 10 years, right? So I knew that this place could be successful, and then Coach Rogers, just his viewpoint, the way he operates, the things that he really focuses on, which is player relationships, true player relationships, the details of football, the base fundamentals of football, all that stuff that he and I talked about in our initial conversation. It made me feel like coming here, we could be extremely successful. And watching what he did at Washington State is not an easy job right now, with what they've had to deal with the last couple of years with realignment and all that. And him going there and, taking 3 teams that 2 of them went to the college football playoff and one of them was 1 win away, and taking those teams to the brink at the end of the game and having a chance to win, I know we can replicate that here at Iowa State at the next level. So that's what made it a no-brainer for my wife and I to do it.
Go ahead.
Kind of going off of that, you may have been answering this when I came in, but Rogers has talked about wanting to be run heavy, establishing the line of scrimmage. How does that kind of mirror match with your philosophy?
Yeah. The teams that I've been a part of that have had the best success have been the teams that can run the football. I think when you look at football across college and the National Football League, the teams that run the ball win the championships. I think you saw it in the Super Bowl the other night. Neither one of them could generate a pass game. The Seahawks controlled the line of scrimmage, ran the football, they won the game. The college football playoff the last couple of years, Indiana this year could run the football and they could stop the run. That translates to wins. And so whenever you can uniquely align yourself with a head coach who's a defensive guy and then the offensive coordinator who wants to run the ball, that translates to success. And the teams I've been a part of that have had success have been able to run the football and control the line of scrimmage, because controlling the line of scrimmage and making them defend the run opens up the pass, opens up the big play. And then when you can control the time of possession and you can put stress on the other offense to have to maybe hurry up or do things that they're not comfortable with, you have the advantage at the end of the football game.
You talked about the importance of being able to want to run the ball. How do you plan to be able to do that with your group and allow the running backs to find holes?
Yeah, I think it starts with the culture of the football team, the physical culture of the football team. That starts with Coach Rogers and his mindset, and then Coach Roll and his mindset on offense, and the culture we're going to have on the offensive side of the ball. But I think the thing about the guys that we have in the room, the high school guys, the returners, and the transfers, is throughout the entire recruiting process of each one of those guys, that's all we talked about to them was we're going to be physical, we're going to run the football, this is how we're going to do this. And them buying into it made me know that they're the right fit for us and what we want to do. And then I think, we've done a good job at the running back position with returners coming back, and then add guys out of the portal guys that can do multiple things, because we want to be multiple in our run scheme to try to put stress on the defense. So just creating that, and then going through spring ball and figuring out what we are good at and where do we want to continue to expand.
Traditionally, I know recruiting offensive line is quite hard out of the transfer portal. They don't transfer as much as other positions. That didn't stop you guys from bringing in 10 guys.
Yeah.
What was the process like for you of rebuilding that depth chart and that position group?
I think the thing that we did a good job of is we took all opinions out of it other than what we saw on tape and what we learned from the kids. And so we didn't worry about where a kid was coming from, what a kid had done, nothing like that. We did our background check on the guys from previous coaches that they played for to make sure they checked out from a character standpoint, and then we put all our focus into the film. And do they match what we want to do, and do we have a need for that position? And then we went and attacked it. We didn't worry about really anything else other than that. And so it brought together a good group. And we got to go do it on the field, though. We got to go out there and we got to go prove it on the field. But we're heading in the right direction with it.
Curious if you emphasize positional versatility and cross-training guys to play both guard, tackle, center, guard, or if you're someone who wants you're a tackle, you're a guard, and you're a center.
No, I'm all about versatility. I think, number one, it's the best thing for the kids in the long run. If they want a chance to play in the National Football League, the NFL only carries 8 guys at most on an active roster on the NFL. And so unless you're the first-round draft pick left tackle or the first-round pick center, you're going to have to play multiple positions. And so we're going to teach our guys to play multiple spots. Whether they do it in the game or not is dependent on how the depth chart shakes out once we get to that point. But they're going to learn how to play all 5 spots from a mental standpoint, and from a physical standpoint, they will all be cross-trained at least one other position. And we've had success doing that at a lot of different stops. When I was at Ole Miss, we had a tackle, Nick Broker, who was a really good tackle in the SEC. His senior year, we kicked him down to the inside to play guard. He ended up being an All-American and got drafted. This year at Auburn, we had a guy who transferred in from USC, Mason Murphy, who played right tackle his whole career. We had an injury at center, kicked him down to play center. That's going to create versatility for him at the next level when he gets a chance. And it creates more knowledge of our scheme. And so now the drop-off is not there, because if you have a guy get banged up in a certain position, then the guy behind him might be the best fit for that position, so he might go in, or we might kick down somebody or kick out somebody. So it just creates more knowledge of the system, which creates more success.
It's still early days since you brought the guys into the transfer portal, but with 0 returners, what does it take beyond what you see in film to get those guys to gel together as one line?
Yeah, I think we had a couple guys come back with Alston Barrett, Garrett Rutledge. Those guys that have been here, they've done a good job of really helping the guys early in the process of, hey, here's Iowa State, here's how to get to class, here's how to get to the grocery store, here's how we navigate the building. So they did a good job of kind of bringing those guys and helping them out. And then I think O-line is unique. O-linemen kind of stick together, and so you can kind of tell early on, the first week or so, they were kind of getting to know each other, but they were always together. They were watching the NFL playoffs at each other's houses. They were here eating in the cafeteria together. And I think that's also too, the community of Ames and the community of Iowa State has been very good with that process too. Making it easy for guys to transfer in here or to move here from a high school and feel like they're at home. So that's a testament to the fan base of Iowa State and the community of Ames.
And then kind of with the people that you brought in, a lot of redshirt juniors, seniors, you talk about just focusing on tape, but does that experience add another element to kind of catching up coming into a new program?
Yeah, absolutely. Guys that have banked reps, no matter what the level is in college, guys that have banked reps is important because they've been through the fire before of the ups and downs of what a college football season is. Because there's so many ups and downs that they go through the course of a year that a young guy just naturally hasn't had the opportunity to experience yet. Whereas an older guy that's got experience, whether that's coming from D2 FCS or Power 4 or Group of 5, they've been through those ups and downs. So having that bank of reps really helps that process, and they can help mentor a younger guy that may be going through something tough. They've been through it before. It certainly helps out.
And then with your time in the SEC, Big 12, SEC, Big 10, there's all slightly different styles.
Yeah.
What do you hope to bring to Ames to the Big 12 that you learned from your time there?
Yeah. I think the game of football in between the white lines is very similar no matter what league you're in. I think there's different styles of play in different leagues. I think the biggest thing that I hope we bring to the Big 12 is when people turn on the tape, I want them to see the physicality. I want them to see the fundamentals and technique of our O-line, and most importantly, the physicality piece of it. So I hope that's what we bring from an O-line standpoint.